Sorcerer, A Tale of the Last City. Book 1 of the Books of Horizon. Written by David Sarachman. Narrated by Kyle Adams. Beseech the gods and ask them why the gods from heaven's throne did fall, their screams like thunder as they burn and cry. Why does a silence answer man's sad call? Beseech the gods and ask them why. Beseech the gods and ask them why our world broke with bleeding fire, and stone and star did crack the sky, why they were gone when our night was dire. Beseech the gods and ask them why. Beseech the gods and ask them why on shattered plain only few remain, no tears we have left to cry. Why they heard our screams but ignored our pain. Beseech the gods and ask them why. Beseech the gods and ask them why they broke our world and burned our sky, and left us all to burn and die. We beseeched the gods, but they know not why. Trust not the gods, for they do lie. Trust not the gods, or you will die. From the Ballad of the Fall. Chapter 1. The Warren is one of the few domains in Horizon that exists outside the governance of the city's gods and their temples. Because of this, the people that call the Warren home do not tithe to any god and exist without the day-to-day meddling of their priests. However, this freedom comes with its own price, and without the stabilizing influence of the gods or the peacekeeping of the priests, the streets are more dangerous and the buildings more susceptible to the whims and changes of Horizon. Those that can afford the usually exorbitant costs will hire a wizard to lay a winter binding on the brick and mortar to keep their homes from shifting too much. Those unable to pay must suffer the random changes that can happen to their homes. From Living in the Living City. I'm trying not to stare at the horizon too long. All I see is the city and a tiny sliver of sunset as the last light of day finishes its retreat. It's a warm summer night, and the heat is doing nothing to improve my mood. Since the fall and the breaking of the seasons, our choices in weather are rather limited, the stifling heat of summer or the biting cold of winter. Sometimes, if you're really lucky, you get both in the same day. I don't really know why I'm complaining about the heat, though.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?